Quick video to the parents and carers of Australia's kids. I'm sending this message to you today on behalf of our schools, our school leaders, our teachers, our principals. And the truth is, I probably don't speak for all of them at all, but I do have a lot of touch points with a lot of Australian schools, and I'm worried. I'm worried about them. I'm worried about their capacity to be able to raise your kids into great learners and decent citizens. And it's partly tactical, and there's always tactical and practical things that a school can do when things are really hard to make things better, and they should. They should stay really focused on the stuff that has the biggest impact in that key ambition of building your kid into a terrific learner and a decent citizen. But there's also an emotional piece attached to being an educator. And what I'm noticing in far, far too many of the interactions that I have with Australia's educators is that the emotion experiencing as a result of being an educator is a negative one. I'm seeing a blanket of despair, of mistrust, of feeling like they're undervalued that is totally corrosive to them being able to do that really important job for our kids on our behalf. And we need your help. The question I want to ask you is, have you ever walked into a room, parents, and been pretty sure, without any real concrete evidence, that the people in that room were talking about you before you walked in? There's a look, there's a feel, and it's a negative one. It's one that weighs on us really heavily. It's one that feels terrible. It's one that's laced with shame and embarrassment and guilt. We actually have a term for that in the schools that we work with. We call it stakeholder protection. And we speak to schools about the fact that schools should be a place where nobody, no stakeholder, no teacher, no parent, no kid gets their reputation slaughtered in their absence. It makes people feel psychologically unsafe. It makes them feel like they can't speak up. It makes them feel like they can't collaborate. And that's just completely counterintuitive to what we're trying to get done. And so we let them know that it's not on to speak about people that way, particularly when they're not in the room. And that includes even some of our kind of sacred haunts in schools, like our staff room. But we don't want you to ever get that feeling that you could be spoken about that way, because here's the truth. In any organisation where somebody can be spoken about that way, we also become really aware that we could be next. And it's not a feeling that allows us to get on the same page about how we're doing, generating great learners and terrific citizens for tomorrow. The problem can come, parents, if you could imagine that everything that group was talking about before you walked into the room isn't just something you need to guess about, but is posted online, that is shared and tacitly agreed in WhatsApp chat groups that abound all around our school communities at the moment, that get posted on Facebook pages and in Instagram stories, and in places where teachers feel that they have no ability to defend themselves. It's making them feel horribly psychologically unsafe. And it's got to stop. So if you're a parent who's interested in your child becoming a really good learner and a really decent citizen, and if you're a parent who is relying on your school partnering with you to do that really important work in a productive and a positive way, and if you think that getting that done without the presence of shame, guilt, and embarrassment is probably a better idea than doing it in the company of those toxic emotions, then stop participating. Cut it out. We have advice that I provide to teachers, because often teachers, when I tell them about that whole staff room scenario, will say to me, well, what do I do? What do I do if I'm sitting at a table and people start to badmouth someone? I say, well, the very least you can do is get up and walk away. And just say, in fact, sometimes it's like a good little tactic, is kind of get up quickly and walk off. It gives people a really clear impression that I'm not here for that kind of corrosive conduct, because my child's development is too important to let it be infected by that kind of nonsense. And I want you to deploy that kind of approach the next time that you're on social media. Next time you see the pile-on that can happen around teachers and around school leaders in an online community, whether it's a public one like social media or a private one like a WhatsApp chat group, I need you to leave. I need you to walk out. And I don't need you to do it just for our schools. I need you to do it because your kid is too important for your school to be poisoned in such a way that it's unable to partner with you around that really big job any longer. Your kid matters enough for you to step away from the toxic poison that's being sprayed across our schools every single day at the moment. We need your help. That feeling can be alleviated and we can get back to a position of positive affect, driving the positive ambitions that we have for our kids. But schools alone can't do it. They can do the tactical and practical, but the emotional piece is something that they're going to need the help of the community with. And it starts with you. Get up, walk away, delete that WhatsApp chat, remove yourself from that Facebook Messenger group, remove yourself from that page that has turned into a toxic pile-on. Make a positive difference because your kid's worth it.